Awesome. Uh, Good evening. My name's Ethan. I'm a super basketball fan, and I'm here to present with my assistant here. Wait, I guess you can't see him, but his name is Doug. Anyways, that being said, I'm gonna get started on explaining how exactly everything in my code, our code works. For the record, my partner is Justin Lin. So actually, is this right? Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, don't worry about that. Anyways, just to explain that real quick, since we're using import tkinter, there are certain things in tkinter's library that are being out of date and being adjusted over time. As a result, there are some errors, or not actually, stopping errors, but errors that will show up in the terminal once you run, but they do not affect the code and do not affect the turnout. That being said, I'm gonna get started. Anyway, so this is our GUI. It's called Goat Gambler, and you don't need to gamble on who the goat is. You just need to gamble and become the goat yourself and manage your money. So, long story short, the whole goal here is to predict a certain player, let's say LeBron James. Not saying he's the GOAT, but you know what? He's really good. Anyways, and a point total, let's say over under. So let's say 26 points. Do we think he's going to go over under game two? Let's say over, because I believe in him more. And now here we have two options, a quick sort and a merge sort option on how we sort this data before we decide to run the probability check for it. In this case, we're going to choose merge sort, and we're going to finalize selection and wait for the outcome. So here it is. We got this awesome data visualizer for you. Basically, to run this down, this shows you every single possibility on how many points he scored from 0 all the way to his most, I believe is 61. And on the y-axis, you can see the count of how many. So clearly this man has scored a lot of 33-point games and quite a lot of 20-point games. And the red line here is our bet, the over or under 26 points, which is in line with our number. And here we have the actual application. So we have the execution time for the merge sort, which is the first line. The second line, we have over for points, 26 points as the user input. And the odds of this happening is over 55%, which if you look at the plot looks pretty accurate because, well, most of his points do lie to the right side, and there are a lot more instances of that count. Anyways, that being said, I'm also going to do it again. And let's say here, exit out here. And so this doesn't actually end until you actually close the Goat Gambler. So you can keep betting, keep making more bets, and it won't impact. And here, let's say Stephen Curry. And let's say the chance he'll score like 50 points. The chance he goes over, and let's say we'll use quick sort here instead. I'm going to finalize, run. Give it a second. And here it is, once again, the data visualizer. So clearly 50 points is very high for any kind of player, even for Steph Curry. And once again, you see the execution time, and we see that for him to go over 50 points, there's only a 0.74 chance, which looking at here makes sense because as great as you are, you can't overcome the graph, the bell curve. So that being said, we'll do one more example. We do have checks as well. So, just real quick, let's say somebody who doesn't exist in the, well, okay, let's just, actually, yeah. So let's say Ethan Zoo, so me. If I were to finalize this, I would get an error. Please check your inputs because I do not exist in the NBA. However, if we were to put someone like, you can put it in for yourself. Let's put it that way. You might be surprised. There's a little bit of an Easter egg in there for you. Anyways, I digress. We'll say, so another example, let's say right here, let's say Rudy Gobert. What is the chance Rudy Gobert scores over 100 points? And regardless, we put it in, finalize, it should be 0% before I even turn it in. So here, clearly, this man has never scored anywhere near 100 points. He hasn't even hit 40. So the chance he goes over, 0%. And clearly it took not a lot of time because of the data structure. And, it doesn't need to check all those values. Anyways, one last thing. So we'll say, oh, actually, we can also do like -1. What is the chance someone scores negatively? Does not exist. Check your inputs. You also can't input something like animal, right? And then even above here, let's say Rudy, let's say we want to put a number, finalize. Also doesn't work because, well, unless if you're a robot, you can't do that. Anyways, I digress. Here we are. I'm gonna run through one last example. Let's say Kevin Durant and the opportunity chance that he goes 30. And we'll say the chance he goes under, and we use quick sort here because we tried merge sort twice already. So data comes up. Here's the execution time. The chance he goes under 30, 65% chance, because 30 is a pretty high point percentage. And from this data visualizer, you can tell that most of his games do lie under 30 and not over 30. Anyways, that being said, this is just a very quick overview of our player prediction model and our GUI. Feel free to do it on your own terms, and happy betting.